Hi, this is Dr. T with another episode of Dr. T Talks, and today I'm going to talk about talking. So, we know that there's always in the news sometimes tragic, horrible, even violent events. Sometimes they're even focused at the group of people that we come from. So, for example, if you're Jewish, there might be a rise in anti Semitic acts. And if you're a female, there might be some actions that happen to females, etc. And so children are going to ask questions. One of the best rules I can give you is don't be afraid to talk, but talk. Silence is probably the worst thing that you can do, because what your silence actually says is, I'm your mom or I'm your parent and you can talk to me, but there are going to be some things that I am not comfortable talking to you about. And as a result, your child is going to seek out answers from other people. We don't want that to happen. So you've got to make sure that your children know that you are available to talk about any topic, and that any question they come to you with is a question worth having a conversation about. The other thing I want you to know is you're not going to blow it. You're just going to have to answer the questions to the best of your ability. And while you say some things that you might regret later on or not, the most important part of this is that you had a conversation with your child and taught your child that you are willing to have that conversation, as difficult as it might be, with him or her. So, a few rules, a few ground rules, if you will. Before you open your mouth, make sure you really listen to the question that your child is asking. There's a great story about a child who came home one day and said, Mom, Dad, where do I come from? And the parents, being prepared, although hoping it wasn't going to happen for a few years, went into the closet and took out the diagrams and the pictures and the anatomy books. And when they were all done, the child looked quizzically at the parents and said, I didn't quite understand that. I know that Sophia's from Italy, and Johnny says that his family actually were born all in Alaska. Where do I come from? So it's important that whatever question your child is asking, that you get to the root of it. And if you need to, question your child just to make sure you're answering the question that he actually is posing to you. When you answer the questions, answer them truthfully. Children know when we're lying. And if they don't know we're lying now, they'll know later on. And we want our children to always know that, as difficult as a conversation might be, we are always going to tell them the truth. But tell the truth in what I call staccato bursts. If you know anything about music, staccato is when music comes in short little bursts. Tell your child as much as he needs to know in short bursts until those questions cease. It means that your child's question has been answered sufficiently enough for the age and the developmental level that he's at. You'll know that it's not when he keeps asking why or how or who or when. The other thing I want you to know is that there is no wrong or right way to answer these questions. You're going to have to decide for your family and with your morals and values and ethics, maybe even your religious upbringing, how you want to address many of these difficult questions with your child, and maybe even discuss it with your family so that you all have a unified front. And lastly, for those of you who, like me, have religion as an integral part of our lives, make sure that you also explain to the child that God didn't do these things, that it's actually people who do these things and people who make bad choices. And it's a great time to have a conversation with your child about how important it is to always make the right choice and good choices. Because if you make good choices and I make good choices, oh, what a world it could be. Until next time, this is Dr. T.